Meaty tentacles burst from underneath his clothes. Ha 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 ha! Banana! Oh my god. Draco has shark anatomy? I've got you, Jesus. Oh. Oh, grilled cheese, you do so well to please me. It was too much. Please won't. I'm about to do something a little dumb. I'm a pretty reactive person. I laugh easily, I'm excitable. Smiling's my favorite. But after years and years of being in the fandom sphere, secretly reading fanfiction at family gatherings, or on the bus, or at my Mormon friend's house, sorry guys, I can say with confidence that I have a decent poker face. It's a popular ongoing joke in a lot of fanfic circles where someone could read the filthiest smut imaginable and have a straight face, but as soon as they see something super sweet and fluffy, they'll start kicking their legs and squealing, and then they just fold. I want to test to see how much I can endure. So, like an idiot, I asked you lovely viewers to send me your strangest, weirdest, spiciest, most cursed smut fics to see if I could keep a straight face while reading them and not crack. And boy, did you guys come through. If you want some saucy and or wacky fic recs, by the way, that community post comment section is a gold mine. There are dire consequences in this challenge, mind you, or should I say spicy consequences. I have collected several fics out of the recommendations you so kindly gave me that are full of cracky, ridiculous, or just unconventional smut. I'm going to go through all of these fics one by one and attempt to stay composed as I read them to you. So no smiling, laughing, screaming, or any other reactions or tomfoolery allowed. My mouth is allowed to wobble and I can take a deep breath if I need to, but I have to get through the fic with as blank a face as possible. If I manage it, then yay, more suffering to come. But if I crack or just have to nope out of a fic, then there will be more suffering to come. Do you guys know that show on YouTube, Hot Ones? Where host Sean Evans interviews celebrities and they eat hot wings together, but the wings get progressively spicier and spicier? Look what I have. Every time I can't stay straight-faced while reading a fic, I gotta eat some hot sauce. And the sauces are only gonna get worse every time I slip up. There's a total of 10 sauces in the Hot Ones box, so I'm just gonna keep reading fics until I hit 10 slip-ups. Are you not entertained? Now for reference, my spice tolerance is solid. I wouldn't be able to survive in a Southeast Asian family otherwise. And I genuinely really like spicy food, so to up the ante a little bit, I'm going to try and not drink anything throughout this challenge. There is water and Calpico on standby though, and I do have milk and ice cream in the kitchen. To keep this video as PG-13 as possible, I'm going to be bleeping out the worst parts of the smut. Was it a mistake to wear mascara for this video? Let's find out. All right, that's enough chit chat. If you're ready for spicy sauce and spicier fics, then without further ado, let's get started. But before we begin, I want to give a special thank you to the sponsor of today's video, 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂. 𝓼𝓹𝓲 is the world's most popular tech accessory brand renowned for their protective and stylish phone cases. If you want a good balance of a nice strong phone case and aesthetic, 𝓼𝓹𝓲 has got you covered. The cases are made from 65% recycled and plant-based material, and the clear cases are optimized with UV Defender technology to prevent yellowing from the sun and have long-lasting crystal clear clarity. The clear case has also been drop tested at 6.5 feet and has exceeded military-grade drop test standards. Wow! Customize your case however you see fit, either with one of 𝓼𝓹𝓲's super cute designs, of which there are many, here are some of my personal faves, or by using a clear case and showing off your favorite photos or stickers on the back of your phone. Perfect for repping the fandoms you're part of, with pizzazz. A good friend of mine made this professional fangirl phone charm for me for Christmas, and now I have the perfect place to put it. Ta-da! So if you're down to try out 𝓼𝓹𝓲's awesome cases for yourself, then check out 𝓼𝓹𝓲.com/ColeyDoesThings for 15% off your order. Thank you again so much, 𝓼𝓹𝓲, for supporting my content. Let's get back into it. Alright, where do we begin? Here is a classic fandom pairing. It's Supernatural with 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂, Dean Winchester, and Castiel the Angel. And this fic is apparently pretty well known in the community. It's called 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂, written during the soon-to-be infamous Bagelpocalypse of 2014. Warnings: contains hot bagel action. This is bagel smut, basically. Bagel Dean leaned forward and at Cass's baguette, which was quickly rising like dough put into an oven. Bagel Castiel moaned as Bagel Dean took it out of Castiel's and quickly up the breaded length, moaning at the flavor of Castiel's butter. Bagel Dean's harder, feeling Bagel Castiel's baguette. He let out a startled moan, reaching down quickly, bread wand from his pants. This was so worth you leaving out the cream cheese. After I'm through with you, you'll never be able to You'll always crave my touch. I'll get under your crust just like the blueberries you were baked with, Dean said, stroking up and down Castiel's breadstick with the cream cheese. And what is that? Is that the cream cheese? Yup, Cass, all for you. Wow, it's so smooth. I can't believe it's not butter, he said. Dean then became impatient and deep in his throat and coughed. Finally, Bagel Castiel felt like he was about to burst, and his breadstick was leaking delicious butter down. Dean continued all that Castiel's bagel hood had to offer, milking him like a cow bagel. Dean Bagel loved the taste of his angel. Not even the Pillsbury Doughboy himself could make a more delicious treat. Ugh, Cass, your whole wheat wraps around my so nicely, he groaned. Dean smirked before he started to at a merciless pace, his baguette hitting Castiel's special sesame seed over and over again, causing the others to rise even more, become even like stale bread. Oh, Cass, take it, you whole grain Dean exclaimed. To Bagstiel. What could he say? He was delicious, and since he was a knight of hell, he jelly. It was grape flavored. Too bad Cass preferred custard-filled donuts. Holy bagel, Batman. Oh my god. This fic is Lightning McQueen x 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂. It is called Two Trucks. Two Trucks Having Sex, aka Owen Wilson f***s a truck. Okay. McQueen approached Mater with fire in his eyes. Lightning had been lusting over his dear friend for a while now, his rusty exhaust pipe, the way his engine sounded when he laughed. He never even had his hood on. What did Mater expect McQueen to do, exposing himself like that? Dear God, is there a car god? Mater could back that trunk up like no other, and it drove Lightning to madness. His thick dump truck teased McQueen to new levels. He could already feel himself getting and his exhaust was... As they were driving, McQueen could feel his lust increasing. You want to have... He abruptly asked Mater. Mater looked up in surprise, caught off guard for a minute. Well, howdy, you don't have to tell me twice. Mater turned around and stuck his pie out. Lightning backed up his own exhaust with Mater's. Slowly, carefully, they... Oh God, Lightning, you feel so good, Mater whined. We fit so good together, McQueen agreed. Mater as Lightning his exhaust pipe. The red race car could feel his building up within his engine. Pulling out of Mater's pipe, he could see the oil leaking. It was so hot. Breathing hard, Mater turned around to lock lips with McQueen. Well, shoot, darn it, Lightning. That was the best hoodly-doodly I have ever done experienced. And that thing you did with your fuel injectors, howdy, I never knew you were so flexible. Oh, Mater, are you on the pill? I just spilled oil inside you. I don't want to start anything we can't finish. Mater cut McQueen off. Don't worry, it's good. This ain't some MPreg type bullshit. It almost got me a few times, but I did it. I red smut of Lightning McQueen 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂, my god. This next fic is for Heaven Official's blessing. It's Hwa-Chung in 𝓼𝓹𝓲. When 𝓼𝓹𝓲 sneaks off to the cave of 10,000 gods, he doesn't expect to find a hidden room with a pile of scrolls. He expects even less to open them and find his own name. Sunlung wrote stories about us? This is pure crack fic, I'm sorry. Author's note. My name is Hwa-Chung, and this is my personal scroll to write my stories. If you find this, it means you're in my cave and I'm going to kill you. So it's basically like parroting really bad Wattpad porn. I looked up and OMG, it was the most beautiful drop-dead gorgeous prince I had ever seen in my life. He was an 100 out of 10, and his face looked so handsome, and his eyes were chocolatey brown, and so was his hair. He was so hot that I immediately got a little... We hugged and cuddled in bed and started making out. I was blushing, but I tried to hide it. 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂 was also looking really shy for some reason. Do you know why Woshi wanted me to pick out someone so much today? He said. No, why? I said. I'm going into heat, 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂. I don't know why that got me. God damn it. Alright, sauce number 1. The dam's been broken. This is the classic hot sauce, the chili maple by Heatoness. My vessel for the hot sauces are McDonald's chicken nuggets. Since it's the first one, it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, bottoms up. That's some good flavor, actually. I like that. Reminds me a bit of Tabasco, only it's a little more sweet. And I really like Tabasco, so that works out. I like this. Wow, it took 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂 mewling that he was going into heat to crack me. Amazing. Okay, this one's a little out there, but it's for 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂, and it's 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬� X Reader. It's called Sex Metal Barbie. You test 𝓼𝓹𝓲's physical limits out of morbid curiosity. 𝓼? Lol. No, literally, like you take his limbs off. The way I said in my thesis that I'm a freelance writer, and in reality, I do this Despite your obvious concerns, the sight of what was once a whole functioning puppet, and what a puppet, helplessly squirming underneath your hold was inducing you a most depraved thrill. It took you less than a minute to shove your whole with a borderline predatory growl, basking into your doll partner's helpless moans below you. 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂 trashes around, whatever what was left of him quite literally spasming and glitching underneath your death clutch. I'm burning up for you, baby. 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬�, you get me closer to God. Something which you definitely do not fail to notice, your eyes near painfully rolling and tongue lolling out of your mouth like a grotesque picture befitting the both of you. 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬�, you drive me insane, baby. Did you know that? You shakily huff out. Your fingernails stab themselves into 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓲's soft sides like the claws of a scavenger eagle as you continue brutally out of his limp body, watching with sick interest how his limbless torso jumped and shook alongside his each time you're inside him. Is that all you really are, love? Just a filthy little You're my dirty aren't you? Made for my own pleasure. Oh god, yes, I'm your rated 18 for sex, nudity, and violence Barbie doll. I love it when you use and abuse me. You stick a hand in one of his empty arm sockets. His response is Pavlovian in nature. So you're putting me back in black before you hit the sack, right? 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬� turns his head to the side, gesturing with his eyes toward the pile of artificial limbs. A cunning smirk is all you give before you hear a cartoony gulp sound. This one wasn't that bad. It was certainly out there, that's for sure, but I don't know, I guess I'm a little desensitized to stuff like this. When you've been reading fanfiction for about 15 years, you certainly build up a tolerance for this sort of stuff. This one is a Shrek x Donald Trump fic, and it's called Make America Green Again. Trump looked to the door and gasped. An Adonis was standing there, a green Adonis. The light shined brightly on the green ogre's beautiful bald head, creating a halo-like glow around him. His vest clung tightly to his chiseled chest, and the tights he wore left little to the imagination. This ogre was and Trump was lost in his bulge. Trump suddenly felt strong arms surrounding him, steadying him and saving him. He looked up at the man who held him and found himself losing his breath once again as Shrek brought his large calloused hands towards his head. Looks like your toupee slid a little. He looked up awestruck when he felt a hand grasp through his pants. You need to get ogre your pride and come with me around the back. And his orange carrot ached, waiting to be attended to. Trump reached behind Shrek and grabbed hold of his southern cheeks, feeling them in his hands. His ogre's butt was saggy like the skin of a rotten banana, and his fingers continuously found pockets of skin the size of craters. You're just so beautiful, Shrek. Compared to you and pretty much anyone else, I look like a bag of trash that's been left out for 10 years in 90-degree weather. Trump's eyes got a little misty as he finished, so he turned away from Shrek's gaze again. Shrek quickly brought Donald's eyes back to his and gave him a comforting smile. Hey now, you're an all-star. Those words were all it took for Trump's self-lubricating to get wet. He thanked the Lord White Jesus that all Republicans have I can't do this anymore. All Republicans had self-lubricating did me in. Alright, sauce number 2. This is a tropical hot sauce. It's Tropicante, sauce picante, tropical. It better be fruity. Alright, to Donald Trump's self-lubricating that is some good tropical flavor. Damn. I think the first one was spicier than this. It's really good, it's just not very spicy. This is a Stucky fic, Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes. It's called Steve Went Bird Sure. I tried to dictate some steamy Stucky smut into a voice dictation app, and this is what came out. I just had to share this. Steve kneads gently at Bucky's the way you know that he likes, but he likes. Bucky press and see you gas. He was already overwhelmed, Bucky's, and he just wanted more. And thank you, Blee's feeling him. Slowly, Bucky is the first stupid. Bucky's blessed hands twisted into Steve's t-shirt, its smeared t-shirt with blue boob land. DQ overwhelmed care things like send and hellfire unless they were in his butt. Bucky with maddening slowly go slow. Can you get to the point? A great mom, you get going. I'm in a lot of those, yeah, just died, but it'll be okay. I'll be there or what restarts, Ricky did that sucks favorite pumpkin. Love you, or are weird, or call me weird uncle, or. Bucky's costs like the alleyway beyond that nothing, this was ball boomba, ha 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 ha. He was so close, he was starting to see white and his was pulsing blood. Steve slumped, Spence, and let his baseball on bulky shoulder, a fleshy shoulder. Come on, Stevie, said Bucky, let's go home. That was a brain workout, holy sh**. I caught myself a couple times because the names were just so garbled. This next one is from the musical Be More Chill, and it's the pairing the Squip X Reader. The Squip is like this computer program in your brain, and I'm very curious to see how this goes with X Reader. You're cyber into me, you hot toaster oven, you whisper sexily into his cyber ear. It's Gucci, fam, he replied. Meaty tentacles burst from underneath his clothes. You watched enough hentai to know where this is going, but you're kind of into it. Put all of them into me, cybernetic. Only if you do something for me first. Your Squip snaps his fingers, and suddenly you feel different. You look down and you were wearing Ronald McDonald undergarments and face paint, complete with a sexy wig. Oh hell yeah, this is my say with excitement. You also have a daddy, abuse, electricity, wasp, fire, vor, rubber ducky, falling down the stairs, and inflation with a newly added tentacle one. You start pterodactyl screeching the lyrics to Deep Throat by Cupcake. Instead of choke though, you scream the word inflate, and the Squip inflates himself like a sexy balloon made of hot beefcake tentacle and spare computer parts. He winks at you and you would instantly in the Ronald McDonald undergarments. The Squip somehow manages to pick up a chainsaw you had lying around your room since you loved being gently with a chainsaw. He proceeded to saw off your limbs, but really he was making you do it yourself because he is not a physical being. You scream in pleasure. Yeah, Diddy Daddy, saw my arms off and used them as shove them up your. You are now bleeding out from your severed limbs and realize you have a blood too. He starts shoving your furry foot down his throat hole and you. Oh yes, ingest me, you slimy icebox. He turned himself transparent so you could see your entire foot go down his throat, and you 437 times. Luckily, the Squip inside your brain keeps on restocking your. All of your fantasies are coming true. The Squip picks up the phone, dials in a number, and gently whispers, "Can I get a boneless pizza with the cookie?" Holy that's so hot, you think. You have a boneless and an ASMR. You. I wanted to get out as soon as the chainsaw came to be, but I made it. This one is for Looney Tunes, and it's called The Ballad of Elmer Fudd and Grilled Cheese. Elmer Fudd likes his grilled cheese nice and lean, if you know what I mean. Oh no. The fact that this is on fanfiction.net, too, it's major throwback. Elmer Fudd got home after a hard day at work. He took off his hat and headed into the kitchen to grab his favorite meal. Some nice grilled cheese. Ooh, baby, how I love me some grilled cheese. Elmer started as he bit into the grilled cheese and munched on it softly, chewing it down after 12 seconds. He then pulled out his as he began grabbing another grilled cheese. As he placed the grilled cheese into his mouth with his right hand, he moaned in glee as he began his left hand starting to feel sore. Let's get some action going, Elmer stated as he grabbed the grilled cheese and opened it up, his scrumptious sandwich. Elmer then grabbed the No, the fact that they keep spelling it wrong is driving me nuts. I don't even care. This is like the shortest one I've read so far, but I can't deal with the freaking spelling of that. It just keeps getting worse. Oh, grilled cheese, you do so well to please me. All right, sauce number 3. Micro Saucery Pico Peppers. Pico Rico Piri Piri style hot sauce. Why a little cat on it? It's cute. I do not want it to spill, but cheers. That's really good flavor. I've said that every time already, but still. The type of spice is fun too. It's like pop, pop, pop. Next fic. This one is from My Hero Academia, and it's a rare pair at that. It's Best Jeanist X Wash, the washing machine hero. Yes, there's a washing machine hero. Crack treated seriously, crack treated sexily. It's called You Spin My Denim Right Round, Right Round. After Best Jeanist confesses to his colleagues that his sensitivity to fabric can make using the washing machine For experience, laundry hero Wash invites him over. They find their quirks very sexually compatible. Deadass, I couldn't find any Wash X genus fix on AO3. Super fucked up considering best genus controls fabric and Wash literally washes it. They're so compatible. I don't understand how no one else has paired these two yet, as far as I could find anyway. Are you seriously wearing denim underwear? It's comfortable, Tsunagu muttered. Wash didn't seem convinced and hooked one finger at the waistband of it. Can I wash it too? Wash pulled it down, and Tsunagu relished in the brush of the fabric over his legs, down his thighs, past his knees, and out past his feet. His clothes were bundled up on Wash's lap, and Wash opened the door to his chest. He chucked in the articles of clothing and closed the door over them. With that, there was a ka-chunk sound, and then the sound of water pouring in. There was a sudden silence when the water finished pouring. Are you ready? Wash asked. He took a deep breath. Yes. There was a sudden lurch, fabric jumping at a disturbance. Tsunagu's body jumped as well, surprised in spite of the warning. He could feel this water sloshing around and through the clothing, detergent slipping through the fibers and lifting particles. But more overwhelming was the continual spin and spin and spin, being relentlessly tossed about the machine. You feel so good inside me, Wash said wantonly, pulling and squirming the way you are. The walls. The dirty talk had Tsunagu flushing. This was not the kind of image the squeaky clean laundry hero should be cultivating. Then a new splash of water entered the drum. Did you forget the rinse cycle? By now the water had finished filling up again. It was an experimental tilt, and then the spin started again. Oh, just like that, Wash intoned. Apparently Tsunagu's full body twitch had transferred to the fabric as well. I love how you squirm. Tsunagu wasn't sure how many washing machines did 4 rinse cycles, but that's how many Wash put him through so far. The water was fully drained, and Tsunagu reached forward to open the washing machine door. Wash grabbed his wrist. Tsunagu paused. Wash? There's still the final cycle. He held his breath. No way. He didn't think he could handle any more than this. Tsunagu was gasping, begging openly for relief at this. His clothes were still wet even after being run out by that vicious final cycle. I'd let you stay over any night if you'd let me do that again. Tsunagu could feel himself blush. Perhaps I will. Match made in heaven. This is for Genshin Impact. It's for Child and Zhongli, and it's called Zhongqi Smut, except I never say and the substitutions get progressively worse. Zhongli was a man well known for his patience. One time he waited outside a bookstore for several hours to ensure that he would be the very first person to get his hands on a certain book. Apparently his patience had run out because his up and down his wiener. Subconsciously moved to his meat stick, desperate for more friction. He didn't know how long it's been, but by the time Zhongli finally moved, his human sausage against Child's was prepared to beg for more. He needed this. He needed the release. He needed Zhongli so much it hurt. Not so fast. Zhongli groaned, clamping his hand at the Child's happy wand, preventing any chance of it. Zhongli's hand remained clamped over Child's whiz-waz, the pleasure becoming too much, especially as his other hand locked onto Child's thigh, pushing it farther down. And he was sure that if it wasn't for Zhongli's hand still clenched around his spickle pickle, he would have already. It sent shivers down his whole body as he felt himself on Zhongli's. I was towing the line pretty hard with this one, but it was too much. Zhongli's womb. No, if I didn't crack earlier, that would have got me for sure. Sauce number 4. This is 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂 barbacoa. Heat level 4 out of 10. Oh, this is easy street. She got this in the bag. Cheers. Not the most unique sauce. Like, I've definitely had stuff similar to this before, but it's good. Again, still not feeling the heat all that much. This one is for the Transformers fandom. It's Megatron x Starscream, and it's called Heat, Not a Furnace. The war has come to an end, and they have peace. Hopefully this means Megatron will never have to deal with Starscream again. Right? Right? Even though I did used to read Transformers fanfic back in the day, I don't think I delved into the smutty aspect of it. So we're just gonna see how Transformers smut works. Starscream's cheeks were flushed, optics fluttering as his servo moved in light teasing motions. Megatron could see glimpses of shimmering wetness on the Seeker's fingers as they moved. He could imagine what they felt like. The glide of fingers against softening derma mesh folds. After a while, a crease appeared in Starscream's brow. Are you just gonna sit there and watch? He could see the energon flushed mesh of Starscream's valve and where it was 2 of the Seeker's slender digits. Megatron's mouth began to water, even as the Seeker demanded, "Let me see your spike." "No," he rumbled. Starscream's helm dropped back against the chair. His servo was now moving faster and a little less controlled. Finally, the Seeker's helm fell back over the chair, back arching and cockpit rising. His wings shuddered and a whisper of something that sounded like Megatron's designation escaped Starscream's parted lips. Starscream let his servo rest against his open thigh, valve open, were starting to start trickling down onto the chair. "You can't possibly," Starscream squirmed, surprised, having felt the heat of against his own panels. He inclined his helm, mouth closing over one of the Seeker's silver turbines. 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂 over its pointed center. Starscream's engines revved, frame jumping into servos. Engines revved, wow. 𝓼𝓹𝓲 though, the point? I'm intrigued. Do you know what? Like, even though this is very different, I'm not opposed to it. Yeah, the engines revved got me though, so time for sauce number 5. Like, it's one thing to have the pipes and stuff, I guess, but like, having the engines going as you're going out, it just makes me feel like, no, that should be turned off. I guess, I mean, turned on in this case because... Anyway, this is 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬�, not traditional but personal, Szechuan gold. It's made from Szechuan buzz buttons, and it's not really an overt spiciness, it's more of like a numbing, tingling sensation that builds over time. All right, cheers. Yeah, that's good. I feel it creeping up a little bit. The flavor is really nice. I love Szechuan cuisine, so this is good. Yum, 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 yum. We have another classic fandom and pairing here. It's Harry Potter with Draco Malfoy x Harry Potter. It's called Never Mind the Bollocks. It's Draco x Harry. This is crackfic at its worst. Can we say cliche? Yes, we can. I tried to get them all. Apparently this fic includes every cliche found in Drarry fics and parodying it, so kind of like amping it up to here. Since I didn't really read a whole lot of Drarry back in the day, this will be a nice crash course. Harry's eager fingers dance their way down Draco's freshly nared chest, while mamboed into the dip of his navel and finally boogalooed below the scratchy wool of the skirt. They pirouetted in a dramatic dying swan crescendo when they touched something odd. Leather underwear. Apparently, no one had ever explained to Draco that leather wasn't a particularly breathable fabric choice for unmentionables. The result was unmentionable. A quick cleaning spell took care of that. "You're wearing far too many clothes, Harry," Draco mewed and purred, unaware of Harry's terrible allergy to cats. He unwrapped the woolen muffler, peeled off the balaclava, divested Harry of the down vest, the sweater-like jumper, the ski bibs, the muklukes, until Harry was left clad in nothing but a pair of snitch-decorated silk green boxers. "Don't stop," panted trousered Harry. It's always the stupidest stuff that gets me. It's not even like the smut, it's just the pun of like panted and then trouser. All right, where's sauce number 6? Hot sauce with Scotch bonnet, Carolina Reaper, turmeric, ginger root, chocolate ghost pepper, Honduran hard liquor chili. This is number 6. Well, it says it's like a 5.5 out of 6 on the pepper scale, which is not very reassuring. Oh, I put way too much. Well, bottoms up. Okay. At first I was like, this isn't bad at all. It's like mustard, but it kind of hits you at the back end a little bit. It's good though. It's better than I expected. Yeah, that is good. Definitely the hottest one yet though. Like, wow. This next one is a Star Wars fic, and it's Obi-Wan Kenobi x Anakin Skywalker. The kicker, it's a vegetable AU. AU, everyone is a vegetable. Crack, I'm so sorry. It's called The Red Mustafar and Your Tomato Skin. Anakin on Mustafar has realization that changes at least one thing. "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground," Obi-Wan said. He rolled his tomato body up the sharp rocks of Mustafar, wincing as they burned his soft red skin. "You underestimate my power," Anakin screamed. He coiled his cucumber body and leapt over Obi-Wan's head. Obi-Wan's lightsaber slashed through the air, but it didn't cut off Anakin's legs because he didn't have any. As Anakin landed, he looked at his mentor's round, red body. He hated Obi-Wan, hated him with the passion of 1,000 burning suns, but in the red light of Mustafar, he had to admit that the glistening of his tomato skin was beautiful. "I hate you," Anakin yelled. "But also, I am very attracted to you right now." By consensus, they deactivated their lightsabers, leaning together, drops of fruit juice squeezed out of the small injuries on their bodies. They locked their lips together and their tongues battled with the ferocity of their lightsaber battle minutes before. "Padme," Obi-Wan said into Anakin's mouth, "she's going into labor." Okay, my love, Anakin said. I can taste your delicious tomato flesh in hyperspace. They traveled back to the ship, pausing every few steps to caress each other's smooth cellulose flesh. They went to the back room and Anakin used his cucumber juice as while he Obi-Wan. Oh, Obi-Wan said over the sound of Anakin his soft, seed-filled insides. Anakin until all at once the mini cucumber attached to his larger cucumber body suddenly emitted a bunch of seeds. In the next moment, Obi-Wan spattering tomato seeds all over the inside of the room. Obi-Wan's skin broke open and he saw the spiky green leaves of a cucumber sprout. He cried because it meant that Anakin was still with him. This is from the Bible fandom, and it's Jesus Christ x Larry the Cucumber. It's called My Brother in Christ. Jesus is preparing party decorations for Easter celebrations in his apartment when he accidentally slips and gets stuck on the cross. Hearing the commotion, his roommate Larry the Cucumber exits the shower to assist. As per Jesus' request, Larry has to stick his brother in Christ to help him get free of the cross. Ugh. As Jesus leaned over to attach one side of his streamers to the wall beside the cross, Jesus fell forward and toppled into the cross with a crashing sound that sounded out throughout the entire apartment. His clothes made of rags got caught on the chipped and splintered wood of the cross, and he fought hard to get out of the wooden trap, but it was useless. He was stuck on the cross. Egad! Clearing his throat behind Christ, Jesus snapped his head back so he could try to see who it was. But he didn't really have to guess, as Larry the Cucumber came into his field of vision with a smirk on his face. He had just gotten out of the shower and was wearing nothing but a towel that showed off his veggie abs that had drops of glistening water still running down his hot body from atop his bald head. Larry looked so moist and hydrated and yummy, and Jesus almost cursed again at the sight of him with just that little towel on. That towel was sinful, downright tempting, as it barely covered all of Larry's revitalizing green, the outline of his clearly showing from behind the thin white cloth. In Jesus' mind, there was only one way for him to get free, and it involved a certain vegetable's thick and mighty. I'm stuck on the cross, Larry. I can't get down because the splintered wood is all up in my robes, and it's too dry for me to slip out, Jesus began explaining. I can't move, Larry. You have to, and have sex with me so I can wriggle free. He informed the cucumber with a dire face of urgency. Oh my gosh, okay, where do I get to slick you up? Larry asked, instantly giving himself over to help Jesus out. Ugh, it's, okay, don't laugh, but I store my up my. You have to pull it out, Larry. I've got you, Jesus. It was painful for Jesus to have Larry dry, but he was swift with his fingers and pulling it out of Jesus with expertise and with a pop. I give up. No, I'm tapping out of this one. Some of y'all might be mad at me for tapping out like only halfway through the fic, but dude, this, I can't go through with the rest of this. I'm not even Christian, but this just feels wrong. Sauce number 7, Cosmic Disco. From Funkin' Hot Karma Sauce. I really like this bottle. Look at the little alien. He's just dancing. Okay, supernova of scalding heat and umami forward flavor. We have our sauce. Cheers. That's really good. The heat's not hitting me yet. Okay, it's starting to creep up, but holy oh my god. Oh, that just creeps up on you. Oh. Holy hell. Oh, that just sneaks up on you so bad. That was number 7. That was such a big step up from 6. No water, I'm good. That's what I get for reading Jesus fanfiction. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. This one is for the Bee Movie. It's Barry Benson and Vanessa Bloom. It's called Pollination. For context, my friends and I watched Bee Movie together, wondered if there were any pollen fics, because there had to be. Turned out there were none, so here we are. It's hard to talk. If honey is like a drug to bees at times, what could pollen do? The moment the pollen entered her system, she felt different. Amazing even. Her limbs felt tingly, the edges of her vision were becoming hazy, and her whole body was becoming hot, the heat spreading throughout her body. The want, the need was growing in the very core of her being, and as her eyes fell on Barry, head burrowed in the pile of pollen, She knew exactly what she needed. She needed him. This is unbelievable. She leaned over and picked him up by his wings, the contact sending a shudder through his tiny body. She placed her lover down on the foot of the bed and situated herself so she was laying down for Barry. He strutted at her thighs, leaving microscopic hisses as he moves along. Vanessa wanted to tell him to hurry up, to stop teasing and already, but she found her mouth wouldn't form words, only incoherent moans as Barry started to move up her thigh once more. Barry found he couldn't control himself. He approached her once more and began dragging a hand up and down in light motions. Vanessa writhed underneath his soft touch. Just already, she barely managed to choke out, gagging on the sounds of her own pleasure. What felt like eons later, Barry first into her, thoughts of their usual protection that furthest thing from his mind. He and a moan was forced from Vanessa's throat. Her back arched and her hands fisted the bedsheets below her. Barry, meanwhile, was surrounded by the of his lover. He moved about, brushing tenderly. He began to his own need taking over his want to please her as he began to chase his own pleasure. She could feel Barry's could just barely make out what he was doing. Realization hit her that he was, at the moment, merely using her for his own gain, and that even more. They each kept up their motions, and with the help of their heightened senses, soon found themselves heat spreading through them and vision going white. Vanessa her back and her around Barry. She soon collapsed backwards onto the bed. Her chest rose and fell in shaky breaths, and, energy completely drained, found herself slipping out of consciousness. Not a thought spared for the bee inside her. Neither thought of the possible downsides of Barry falling asleep still inside Vanessa. It would simply have to be Discovery Save for tomorrow. Wow, I did it! I'm certainly not traumatized from that. This next fic is from 𝓼𝓹𝓲𝓬𝔂, and it's Sans x Trip. I do not know who Trip is, unfortunately. Sans and Trip do the smexy. I wish I was dead. I do like to be dominant. His tone changed, and he gave a sultry smile as he moved closer to his lover. But I also like to be dominated. Sans crushed his bony lips into Trip's fleshy ones, their tongues exploring each other's mouths. Trip moaned as Sans pushed him back against the bar, leaning over him and deepening the kiss. They stripped each other's shirts, and after a few minutes of super sexy tongue action, the two parted, gasping for air. "Aw yeah, Sans, shake my magic 8 balls," Trip moaned. "I want you to me, Sans. Me." Sans nodded sexily, turning Trip around and pulling down his generic gray pants to grab as much of a handful of that pasty as he could, which was none because Trip's was flatter than a super flat Minecraft world. Sans knew that Trip didn't need any prep because he was a nomad. Yeah, no. It's always the freaking Omegaverse stuff that gets me. God damn it. Alright, well, you know what time it is. Hot sauce number 8 is da bomb. Warning, this sauce is extremely hot. Keep out of reach of children. Cool. I don't want to like half-ass it because I've been doing a lot for the previous ones, but I also need to get through 2 more sauces after this. Bombs away. I can feel it, but it's not any worse than the 7th one. I might be butting my words in a second. Oh, I can feel it creeping up. Oh, it hits at like the back of your mouth and then just moves. Oh. I'm not feeling a whole lot of it yet, so I'm just gonna finish off the rest of my nugget with like a tad more. Gonna finish off the rest of the nugget then. This one's making me sweat. I feel like I'm gonna have a baby, just like. Oh my god. Weirdly enough, the 7th one hit harder. This one just lingers. And like, it's like poisonous gas. Ooh, woozy, woozy, woozy. The bomb is still tingling in my mouth, but I think I can keep going. This next fic is for Among Us and Minions. It features a crewmate from Among Us and Bob the Minion. Bob the Minion ends up on a spaceship after Gru's experiment goes wrong. There he is encountered by a pink crewmate. Yellow, Pink called out, apprehensive but somehow hopeful. The thing, which clearly wasn't yellow, turned its head with a high-pitched "oh." The thing was shaped like a large ball, slightly taller than he was wide, with yellow skin, overalls, and 2 large eyes protected by what appeared to be goggles. The way this creature held him tight made him feel such a pure strain of happiness that he vowed to never let this creature go. As Bob left hints of passion with moisture from his lips, Pink felt something began pressing against his chest. Instinctively, Pink's hand materialized and began to the pulsating in Bob's overalls. Bob's smooth yellow body invigorated Pink, whose hand began to body's sole protrusion. Ha 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 ha! Banana! Bob giggled with excitement. Bob's hand grasping for Pink's own was all he needed in that moment. With lips locked together in passion, the two felt each other's raw. Pink had never done this before, and even though it was almost too much for his it was what he wanted to do. Bob filled the head of his reaching the back of Pink's before he was even halfway down the Pink made 2 more trips up and down Bob's before Bob let out a squeal and a torrent of Bob squirmed a moment before loosening the tension and accepting Pink's hard. Bob began sliding. Pink felt an almost pure pleasure, pureness tainted only by that growing primal urge. Their heads grew closer, holding each other close, as Pink could feel Bob's diamond rocket. Again, damn it. The room was spinning, memories drifted in and out of focus, the wires he faked earlier. Oh my god, he's the imposter. Pink bit down, teeth oh my god. Crunching the glass at the goggles, Pink regained his composure. He dropped the lifeless lower half of his only lover and stepped into the vent on the floor. The squeak of the vent puncturing the killing. Oh, plot twist, my god. Damn, I almost made it too. Hot sauce number 9. Number 9 is called Smokin' Ed's Unique Garlic. Fight some vampires after this. Oh. It. I can't even taste garlic, it just tastes like pain. Oh my god, breathing hurts. Oh, it's definitely worse than the bomb. Oh, jeepers creepers, Batman. I think the worst of it is past. Last fic. This is probably gonna be the last one because just looking at the tags and the pairing, this fic is a crossover between Sesame Street and Harry Potter. The pairing is Elmo, ex-Draco Malfoy. Some of the tags include puppet, highly concerning smut, in case it's not painfully obvious already. Crack, written as a joke. Elmo has snake anatomy. He gets long Furby. Draco has shark anatomy. Dead dove do not eat. On what appears to be a regular evening, Draco is visited by an attractive and also probably immortal red puppet. Just as Draco felt himself falling into a familiar stupor, a knock on his front door reverberated through the apartment. It was an unignorable knock, too sharp for the soft red hand that made it. Draco bit his lip in annoyance. Now? Really? He would have ignored it and continued with his activities, had a voice not called out after the second knock. Anybody home? Elmo floated into the apartment, their fiery red limbs tangled around each other promiscuously, their orange nose shiny with desire, and Draco found himself wanting to writhe on the floor at Elmo's mercy. Take me to bed, Elmo hissed, and Draco grabbed them by the waist, kissing their furry mouth firmly, all the while stumbling into his room. Draco had, at least privately, come to terms with his attraction to puppets a little while ago. It was the sort of thing that he would never tell another soul, but had no intention of denying himself in his mind or in his bedroom. Draco had known Elmo possessed great power, but self-lengthening was something else, not to mention the elimination of legs, so that they could become the long, hot noodle that was now flush with Draco's front. Deep in the delicious regions of Elmo's blood-red fur, something was emerging from the space across from Draco's own. It was insistent like an old steam train, red like the hellish urges it was provoking in Draco's heart. The puppet levitated until his electric red, which had been born from the snake, like reversible pocket of skin hidden in their furry depths. It was big, bigger than what should be logically possible due to Elmo's size. But oh, the laws of reality had never really applied when it came to the puppet, had they? The long furry body began to wrap around Draco's leg. Say it, Elmo's little shark me, he said finally, slightly muffled from the rows of teeth now touching his tongue. Me, Elmo. Draco's knees buckled as Elmo's other hand covered their red with thick, slimy puppet saliva before slamming it into his. The thought of having so much impact on the all-powerful puppet was glorious. Draco squeezed, then curled his toes when Elmo finally reached around. The two of them slid down the wall in the dark room. Draco sighed and looked across Elmo, oddly finding that he didn't mind that it was over. He still felt immense attraction to the puppet and hoped they could do this again. They removed the stains from Draco's bed and boxers, levitated the lonely cucumber out from underneath the pillow, and promptly ate it. Elmo must take their leave, they trilled softly after swallowing the last bite of cucumber. No. Flashback to the awful Jesus cucumber fic. Okay, last nugget. Sauce number 10. The last and spiciest hot sauce from Hot Ones. The last dab. Apollo. The world's only hot sauce made with the Apollo pepper, the newest, hottest pepper from Guinness World Record holding chili breeder Smokin' Ed Curry. I'm not gonna go overboard with this one because I do not want to have him die. Cheers to my demise. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that's bad. I did it. I went through everything without any water or drinks or... Okay. I'm breaking into the Calpico now. I'm done. I don't know if this is helping. Before it comes back to hit me again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Were there any fics that made you absolutely lose it? It's back again. If you decide to check out any of the fics I read in this video, be sure to leave a kudos and a nice comment to all the authors. They did a fantastic job coming up with the most cursed imaginable. Let me know which fic was your favorite. If you want to see me do this again, then, I mean, honestly, this was painful, but I'd be down. Thank you again so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
안녕.